Hi everyone, it's Vicki. Welcome to my channel. And Venus and Mars go to the movies. So we saw two movies in the last week. The first one I saw with Mr. Mars, and it was called Hypnotic. Picked that for him because it has a little bit of, futuristic science fiction. It's not a flat out, actually it isn't really, in my perspective, science fiction at all, but it kind of sounded that way in what they told you about the movie, before we saw it. In fact, let me tell you what it says about the movie. Okay, it says, a detective becomes entangled in a mystery involving the missing daughter and a secret government program while investigating a stream of reality-bending crime. I think it was the reality-bending crime that sort of had me thinking that it was, kind of sci-fi-ish. But before I shot this video, I went and watched a couple other people talking about this movie because I wasn't quite sure how to say it without giving anything away in the movie. But there really isn't a way. But what they said, yes, he's on a mission to find his daughter. And yes, there's some reality-bending things in there. And use the word hypnotic if that gives you any clues. But yeah, it's a tough movie to tell you about without giving something away. You know me, I don't usually like violence in movie. It has some, but it's not over the top at all. One of the lesser violent movies I've seen with Mr. Mars. It's the first half of the movie is kind of like one thing, and the second half, I don't know if it's right, 50-50, but anyway, the movie just completely shifts at one point. And it definitely had both of our opinions. When I asked Mr. Mars if he liked the movie, he said, well, it had my attention, and I would say we both give it a thumbs up. Is it the best movie? Is it going to go down in history as a great movie? Probably not, but it definitely had our attention. It kept moving. It was an interesting concept. It was not predictable. And so you're kind of in for a ride. So just know that. And again, I can see why they kind of say mind-bending, because it takes two big turns. So that's all I'm going to tell you, because I don't want to wreck it for you. Because it's a movie that it's better to go in without knowing anything about it. Is it a big screen movie? I don't think it has to be, but I'm kind of glad I did see it in a big screen. I don't know why. But anyway, so 2 thumbs up. It's not a theatrical masterpiece by any means, but it was definitely very entertaining and kept our attention and wasn't predictable and was a different kind of movie than I've ever seen before. So there's that. Okay, so the second movie I saw is called Book Club. What is it? Book Club, The Next Chapter. And here's what the tag is on it. It says, the highly anticipated sequel follows our best 4 friends as they take their book club to Italy for the fun girls' trip they never had. When things go off the rails and secrets are revealed, their relaxing vacation turns into a once-in-a-lifetime cross-country adventure. And that surprised me when it said cross-country. But anyway, so I went to this movie by myself. I went this morning. I had a Zoom meeting at like 12:30, but I went to the movies at like 10 in the morning. That's kind of new for that theater. I think this is the first week I've seen movies at 9 and 10 in the morning. In the past, maybe 11 sometimes for some of the big ones like that X movie that's going on, of Fast and Furious X. Where they play that movie like every hour or every 30 minutes. But anyway, enough of that. So I went by myself. So this is a Venus-only movie. And I thought it was going to be really predictable, but it really wasn't. It went where I didn't expect. But anyway, and it was good. But there was only 5 people in the theater. For me, for the longest time I was in there by myself. I thought I was going to be the only one. But when it came close to time, 3 other ladies showed up who sat in my row, and then a lady who sat up in the back. And I'm telling you, those other people laughed so loud and out loud all the time. They really had a good time, especially the 3 by me. And then the lady up above, she laughed quite a bit too. I laughed out loud a few times, and there was a lot of funny lines, funny situations, stuff. And there was a little bit that had, I had to suspend my disbelief a little bit on some of it, but overall, but yeah, it was enjoyable to watch. It was nice to see, again, another mature lady ensemble like 80 for Brady. Although 80 for Brady, to me, is, if you have to compare movies, I would give that one a higher ranking. I'll still give this one a thumbs up. It was good, and it wasn't as predictable as one might think. Although a couple things, almost were predictable, but not all of it. But yeah, it was good, and it was a beautiful movie to watch because it was filmed where it was filmed. I'm just not going to even tell you that. But some of where it was filmed was just beautiful. It makes me want to go to that place. And what else about it? And some of the outfits and clothing they wore were pretty fantastic. And, I love fashion, or, looking at fashion. The main actresses were Jane Fonda, Mary Steenburgen, Candice Bergen. Who's the other one? Oh, Diane Keaton, of course. I will say, I think maybe I'm getting a little tired of Jane Fonda. I don't think she's my favorite actress in those last two movies. I think the other three, well, at least Mary Steenburgen and Diane Keaton can really outact her. And in the other movie, 80 for Brady, is like Lily Tomlin and who else was in that? I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't know. I don't think that, at least this, I don't think was Jane Fonda's best acting job. But she looked fabulous. And she definitely was a star of the movie, I would say. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. And it was just nice. It didn't have a lot of, no violence, very few bad words. Not that that offends me that much. Yeah, it was a kind of a beautiful movie to watch in a lot of parts. And yeah, it had a lot of what comes around goes around kind of things, Careful what you say to someone, because they might show up right next to you later, So yeah, I would definitely give it a thumbs up. And do you have to watch it on the big screen? No, not necessarily, but I did enjoy watching it on the big screen, but you don't really have to. But yeah, so thanks so much for visiting my channel. I hope you come back, subscribe, click the like button. See you again.